Hello everyone. Welcome to Storytime with Zell. I'm going to read you a little story that I wrote quite a while ago, entitled No One Important. The blizzard was nothing new. We all knew the legends of the two goddesses and their battle that resulted in perpetual cold. What no one could have predicted is that the fool, the armor-clad digger from the Iron Goldfish, would be the one to stop the storms and free our people. He was a nice enough sort, running around with the vibrance of youth throughout our small village. He even spoke to me, the outsider that simply stood by for a little refuge from the cold, and perhaps a hot meal. He said his name was Rock. Dense as a rock, perhaps, but I was never one to judge too harshly. After all, I was never very academically inclined myself. But this kid was a hunter, first and foremost. Rock wore equipment I had never seen before, and used it like a professional. One hand could change between his normal hand and some sort of energy-based beam weapon, and his other was modular, with many different types of weaponry and tools. Only one at a time, however. He always returned to his ship, which honestly did look like a giant flying goldfish, and spoke with the blonde-haired girl in red. I never caught her name, but I think she was his mechanic and contact when he was underground. I followed him on the day he arrived, after my meal, of course. I'm not one to let warm food go to waste, especially when it truly is life or death out here. If the scavenger bots don't get you, the cold will. Rock was following the train tracks out of town to the mines beyond, and every few moments, the scavengers would pop out of the snow. Bloody scavengers. They were designed to help humanity and ended up being nightmares for anyone that wanted a peaceful journey. I don't know what happened to their circuitry, but they'll target any carbon-based life. They would lie in wait, then pop up and use their modified heaters to blast forth a concentrated ball of fire. The kid? I don't know if he was a robot or just really liked that blue armor, but as heavy as it looked, the kid could move. I watched him from afar. I was maybe 20 yards out, but I could see him fighting a pack of them. 4 of them had jumped out at him, but he rolled beneath the scavengers and blew the heater right through one from below with that blaster of his. Then stopped on a dime and jumped back over the main group. We have annual ice skating championships here in the village as a tradition. But even the few times I have joined them, I have never seen anyone move like him. It must have been specialized boots that allowed it, or maybe he was simply that skilled at combat. For as he jumped over them, he flipped around to shoot the other 3 in their optic spheres, breaking the glass that, as far as I knew, was unbreakable. And he still landed on his feet. The scavbots were blind, but joined together and blasted their intense flames in all directions. So wild were their attacks that I almost got roasted myself. Heat is nice and all, but not if I end up a crispy pile of burnt cinders. Cremation is not on my schedule. But he used their blind strikes to his advantage, jumping over and touching one to make a turn and melt the other 2. Then to end it quickly, he pressed his blaster against his chest and blew its main core processor all over the mountainside, its oil staining the serene white snow a stark black rainbow iridescence. I assessed the damage after he went into the mines, even took the first scavbot's eye. The quality of the glass may be useful to study back in the village, but this kid, Rock, was far too interesting to make me turn away. So I stuffed the eye into my backpack, set up some extra heating packs for my clothes, then followed after this mysterious blue warrior into the mine shaft. The underground was still well lit by the panels placed there by the ancients. I'd love to know how they maintain an infinite source of energy. But that's just another mystery among a myriad in this land. Most of my attention was focused on the broken pieces of the other scavenger and security bots scattered about everywhere. He definitely came through here, and the security force stood no chance. From the robots resembling snakes to the wall-mounted machine guns, and even the bipedal warrior-class guards, the jade robots that skewer their unsuspecting victims with powerful multi-bladed drills on both arms. It seemed nothing could step up to this young teenager. I was sneaking my way through one of the corridors when I saw him, at the edge of a large room, hiding himself behind a pillar of stone. Why he was hiding became clear and obscured all at once with the obliteration of the pillar. Thick hammers of steel at the end of long, flexible tubes made up the arms of what some of the locals called the Hanmaru, one of the few deserving of the term Reaverbot. Like a titanium gorilla, the hulking behemoth charged after the kid with reckless abandon, breaking supports and sending quakes throughout the ground itself that even threw me off balance atop the rolling earth. I clung to the corner and watched as Rock dashed from pillar to pillar, drawing on the rage the Hanmaru unleashed, and making it easy to see the trap he was setting. And the ceiling agreed as dust and stone began to fall more and more in the center. And Rock led the mechanical beast right into the middle, focusing his fire on its eye, blinding it but not stopping its wildly swinging arms. A fatal flaw in the agile digger's tactic was not keeping his eyes open for a counterattack, and he certainly felt it when the Hanmaru's arm smashed against his sapphire armor and sent him flying into the wall right beside me. Perfect timing, however, for just as the beast was about to charge after both of us, the roof collapsed on it. The roof collapsed atop it, and after the dust and weight of a mountain finally settled, the Hanmaru was finally silenced. The kid along with it, too, if I wasn't here to do something about it. He was out cold, cracked his head good against the wall earlier, and I couldn't just leave him, so I carried him on my shoulders all the way back to town myself. The blonde-haired girl ran up to us when I brought the kid back to town, tears in her eyes when she realized that Rock was being carried by me on a makeshift stretcher. I said, "He's all right, ma'am, just knocked out cold." She helped me with the stretcher the rest of the way into the town entrance, where their ship was docked. She told me, "Just bring him into the ship. I have everything I need to patch him up." Thankfully, they had already set up some stairs for the iron goldfish, and we got him inside without incident. Within, there was an odd robot, a dancing monkey as far as I could tell, as well as a television and a couch. We set him down on the couch, and she went to gather medical supplies. I looked curiously at the boy, but only for a moment, as I still had business of my own to take care of. I took my supplies that made up the stretcher and placed them back in my pack and slung it over my shoulder just as the girl returned. She looked to me while applying bandages to Rock's head and asked, "Wait, thank you for saving him. He's my brother, and I don't know what I'd do without him." "You saved him, and I don't even know your name. Are you part of the Diggers organization?" I shook my head as I said, "No, I'm just a traveler. I actually have to thank the kid there. The destruction he left before entering the mines gave me enough parts to sell and get enough to get to the next town, with plenty of good meals, and placed my hand on the door. She stood up just as I was about to leave. Asking, "Who are you?" I thought for a moment, then smiled to her and said, "I'm no one important. But I wish you a safe journey and a swift recovery for the kid. Farewell." And with that, I left, returning to my business in town, sold the gear that I'd found. The eye in particular fetched a wonderful price, and I bought myself a train ticket and was on my way. I never saw the kid again, or his sister, but every now and then I caught a glimpse of their ship, their iron goldfish. They probably had a better name for it, but in any case, I heard of their exploits wherever I went. That blue-clad warrior turned out to be one hell of a hero, flying from place to place, saving those in need, just like I did for him so long ago. Yes, indeed, that kid had a much more interesting life, to be sure. But as for myself, a hot meal and a warm bed was all I ever needed. As it turned out, no one knew for sure what he did, only that one day he returned to that small town I saw him in, went off into the heart of the blizzard, and when he returned, the storms had stopped. A part of me wished I had stayed with them, flown from place to place and fight back against the Reaverbots and save the entire world. But then again, I am not strong or fast, and would only get in the way or get broken by the nightmares he had to face. In any case, my stop was coming any minute, and once again, I must be on my way to the three things I love most: a safe place, a hot meal, and a warm bed. For now, I wish you a safe journey. Farewell.